Happy Saturday, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of Mount Olympus RC. Again, I'm Brandon. I'll be going into the EVO Pro and the two critical things that broke on it this week. Yes, they broke. They actually broke while running it. Now, I've been running this thing stock. My goal with this was to run it stock to let you guys know how good of an RTR this actually is, because RTR means you don't need to throw a bunch of upgrades in it from the get-go. And so I want to give you an honest review of what this is as an RTR. Now, taking the top off. I already went over the switch last time. You can see it's all pulled apart, and I'll go into why. It's missing the servo. You can see that, obviously. Missing the servo, that's not a good thing. And then the other thing I'm going to dive into is the drive shaft. Two very critical components of this truck that broke under less than average use. Anyways, let's dive into that, and we'll go from there. The first thing that broke was the drive shaft. My son came to me and was like, "Dad, it's broken." And he was driving it, and the back wheels were spinning, the front wheels weren't. And I said, "Oh, we've got a rear wheel drive now." So I looked under it immediately to see what was wrong, because I had an inkling it was the drive shaft, and it was. It broke right in there. Obviously, this isn't the one that broke. This is the one that I replaced it with, which I'll talk about in a minute. So I was pretty bummed out because I wanted to go drive it later that day. So I was sitting around thinking, what can I do? What can I do? None of the hobby stores were open. Amazon had nothing that was going to ship that day. So I was like, you know what? I've got a spare from my TRX 4M. So I grabbed that, bolted it on. It fit really, really well, actually. So if you have a TRX 4M and your drive shaft on your EVO Pro breaks, go ahead and throw that stock one on, and you'll be able to keep running. Now, I didn't want that one to break, so I got on Amazon and found one that the colors were cool on. I kind of like the black and the gold. I just wanted to see if it would work, so I did find a more affordable option. Here's the one I went with. It's by Glowback. It fits really well, except you'll notice, you can see right here that it's kind of coming off of the gear to the axle at an angle, and it can kind of move. It has a little bit too much freedom in it right there. But you know what? It drives. It's got me back driving, because the one from Hobby Plus, from the website I use, which is Heli Direct, was gonna get here in like 2-3 weeks, which I couldn't wait that long because I have a lot of filming I need to do in the next couple weeks. So that was the first thing that broke. That broke. Awesome. Swapped it out for the TRX 4M one. And then, like I said, that servo motor is missing. And here's why it's missing. So on one of my videos, you can actually see it break. The short that I posted on Wednesday, you can see it break. So if you look in here, that gear right there just completely broke. I really think that RTRs, or just any crawler in general, should have metal gears in the servo. Anyways, it's not a deal breaker for me, but it is something that I would prefer. So I got this. Picked this up from my local hobby shop. I do shout out to them. They're Vortex Hobbies in South Jordan, Utah. Those guys over there are freaking awesome. So here it is. It's stock, except for anything I've had to replace necessarily or out of necessity. So I'm going to throw this servo in, and I'm going to make the wires look all pretty with my yellow zip ties. And we'll go from there. The one thing I was a little nervous about with this is a little taller than the stock one. The body of it is. I'll show you what I mean. Let me put this guy back together real quick. So I was a little hesitant to get this thing. You can see that the body is maybe 1/8 of an inch bigger. So there's a chance I'm going to have to space it forward, but I'm going to try not to at first. So I'm going to throw this servo on. I'm not going to take your guys' time with watching me turn a wrench to put it on, but I'll get back to you once I've got it on to show you the clearance and if I have to space it out. So I'll jump back here with you guys once I get this on, and we'll continue from there. All right, so I got it all installed. I did have to use a spacer. I didn't actually have anything to space it out with. I tried some nuts. I tried some brass inserts that go in here on a different pair of shocks, and the screws just couldn't get enough bite. So what I did is I took this piece that came with the servo and chopped off the ends, and I actually had to drill those holes out a little bit, and then you can see them in there spacing it out nice and perfect. Motor's solid. And now the other thing I had to do on the servo horn, I love these little bags. I always keep stuff in them between projects. I have another thing I use when I'm taking a lot of screws apart that I'll probably show you guys in one of the videos. So I had to drill out that hole on the servo to get this piece, can't pick it up, to get this piece to fit. There it is. So now I'm gonna get this all hooked up onto here. The drive shaft's already hooked up, and I mean, it's not perfect, but it works, so I'm not gonna complain. And then we'll be ready to run again, and it's gonna be as close to stock as it can be. And yeah, I'll come back to you guys when I got power. All right, moment of truth. Bing. Boom. Nice. The servo's just as quick as the stock one. One thing the guy at the hobby shop showed me was that it will actually move the truck. So I mean, that's a pretty powerful servo. 11 kilograms, turn that into pounds, I think it's somewhere close to 23, 25. I don't know the full conversion on it, but it's up there, and that's a lot. And I'm driving it up the wall. There you go. So it looks like the drive shaft works. You can see this wobble right here. That's something that you're gonna get from this drive shaft. I hope it doesn't cause me any damage in the gear, but it's the one I'm running for right now. So put the body back on this guy. Put the pins back in this bad boy. And then we'll be ready to film some more sweet footage. There it is. Boom. EVO Pro's back in business, baby. Crawling all over the place. Oh, wrecked. Can it get out? No, it can't. Definitely can't get out. It's definitely stuck.
Whoa. Buddy, you almost died. Buddy, you're lucky that you died. Oh, I am dead. Buddy, you're lucky that you...
Big thanks to all my subscribers. If you haven't subscribed already, please do. Help me grow this channel. Thanks for tuning in this week, and I'll catch you on the next one.